ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's is the next episode in the continuing series on the Future Kings. Tonight we're talking about computer game design, and with us we have 3 participants in the Future Kings computer game design program. For those of you who don't have a background about Future Kings, we are a non-profit corporation that is creating great futures through STEM education. We have been in Prince William County now for 9 years. We've been incorporated as a not-for-profit since 2014, and our activities are primarily housed on the campus, on the Woodbridge campus of Northern Virginia Community College. As I said, we have 3 of our computer game design participants with us here tonight, and I'd like to start by having them introduce themselves. I'm going to ask each of you to give me your full name, what school you go to, how long you've been in Future Kings, and what your career goals are. Rami, I'd like to start with you.
My name is Rami Solomon. I go to Garfield High School. I've been in Future Kings for about 2 years now, and my focus would be game design.
And you're going to be a game designer when you graduate from high school?
I hope so.
Okay. Raphael?
My name is Raphael Gillian. I go to Garfield High School. This is my 5th year, Future Kings, and I am planning on doing game design.
Emmanuel?
My name is Emmanuel Sorry. I go to school at Forest Park High School. It's my 4th year in Future Kings, and I plan to do game design.
Okay. Good. Now, all you guys have been in Future Kings multiple years, and the program meets from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock on some Saturdays. What is it about the program that motivates you to get up on those Saturdays when you could be staying home doing something else? Emmanuel? Rami?
Well, so every time we come in, I was going to see my friends all the time. So it's good to see my friends. And I'm doing something I like when I'm working on game design, you know. So, and the instructors, they also help out a lot.
Okay.
You know, they help me what I need to do.
Good. Yeah. Raphael, how about you?
Almost every meeting that we have, we have like a, we have a speaker give us some information that could help us in the future. Like a couple weeks ago, we had a geologist come in and talk to us about what he does in his field. It was really fun.
Okay. Emmanuel, how about you?
About me, so mostly Saturdays I don't really have anything to do, and instead of just watching TV and stuff, I can just come and learn from other people's experiences and then like use it in my life.
Okay. Now that sounds really good for all 3 of you guys. And I say a lot of times that Future Kings are not for everybody. So do you have any friends that you think you would definitely not recommend for Future Kings? And do you have any idea about what some reasons that your friends would not want to be in Future Kings?
Yes, I do have friends that I know wouldn't, qualify for Future Kings. And the reason being is, not everyone can wake up at 9 o'clock on a Saturday, or actually before that, because you got to get there by 9 on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they would be committed,
Okay. Raphael?
Same thing what Rami said. They probably just don't have the time or
Okay.
don't have the drive to do it like us.
You have to be all in
Willing,
to do
yes.
that. Okay.
And it's every other Saturday.
That's
too.
every other Saturday.
So it's not like, you're going, 4 times a month. It's
Yeah.
more like 2 times a month.
2 times.
And then we also
So
have
it's a lot
the
easier.
parent meetings and that.
You have parent meetings.
And the parents have to be willing to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a group
Emmanuel, how
effort.
about you?
And same thing, but some of my friends are not like motivated enough, and maybe they don't have a lot to get there and stuff, and I don't think they would like to be here.
So what I'm hearing as a common theme for all you guys is that in order to be in Future Kings, you have to care about your career. You have to care about where you're going and be willing to make a commitment to get there. And if you're not willing to make that commitment, if you're just kind of going day by day and flowing, then you're probably not going to fit in with us. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So in that theme, all 3 guys want to go in computer game design. And tell me something about what you love to do in computer game design as a career.
So I think the good thing about computer game design is that when you're working, you're not alone. You're working with a team,
Mm-hmm.
and I like group effort.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the idea of game design is pretty interesting to me because I play video games all the time,
Okay.
and I'd love to make one.
Okay.
So that'd be pretty fun. I
Okay.
put my ideas in something. You know, it's like
Okay.
it's like art, but
Good.
like online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raphael, how about you?
Same thing. Just making a game and then seeing what other people's reaction is to the game and just how happy it makes them feel.
So the feedback from people seeing
Yeah.
your creativity and then being able to enjoy it
Yeah.
is not quite like if you were just drawing a picture and people stand back and look at it and say, ooh, nice.
Yeah.
It's more like if they really like it, then they're going to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you know you hit something. How about
Yeah.
you, Emmanuel?
Same thing, like they can interact with it and then you can make money off of it too.
Oh, so then there is a entrepreneurial piece of this.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can make your own business and game design and stuff.
Like game design companies that make games for a living.
Okay.
Hire people to make games.
Okay. So, and you don't have to be a big company in order to make money in game design.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I mean, there are big companies who do it.
Yeah.
Give me an example of a game that you like to play. Emmanuel, let's start with you.
Madden.
Madden? Okay. Yeah, but that's a good one.
That's a big game.
Okay. How about, have you liked all the Madden, or did you just start liking it over a period of time? What was the first Madden game that you
The
played?
first one I started playing was 12.
12. Okay. And what about 12 do you like at the time? You remember what really connected with you on
Because
12?
at that time, like, the graphics looked so good at that time, but
Mhm.
compared to 19, it's way bad.
Okay. So you've seen the evolution of, and so now the Madden game is so much better than it was when you
When I first started playing.
first started playing. And Raphael, how about you? What's the game that you love to play?
I kind of just bounce off from game to game. Just
From game to game? Well, give me an
Yeah.
example of at least one that you bounce off of.
probably, Fortnite probably.
Fortnite? Well, that's a pretty recent game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. My grandson loves to play Fortnite, and he says that there's not violence in it. But then he was talking about how when you shoot somebody, they poof. Is that considered
I mean,
violent or not?
when it comes to violence, I think violence is like there's like blood and gore. Everywhere,
Blood and guts. So Doom would be
Yeah,
something
that's
that is
that's a very
full.
violent
That's a very violent game.
Yeah.
Okay. Or Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Those are really
Yeah.
violent games.
Yeah.
But if you shoot somebody and they just kind of disappear,
Yeah, that's.
we don't call that violent.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more like just having fun.
Okay. How about you?
I was actually gonna say Fortnite also.
Fortnite? Okay.
Yeah.
What is it about Fortnite that attracts you?
It's just like playing with friends and just having a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you find a game that you really like, and then you come to our game design program, do the games that you like give you ideas about what you put in your games?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So tell me something, Raphael, that you've seen in a game that you like, that you're trying to incorporate in the games that you're creating.
I think it was what's it called? During last year during the summer camps,
Yeah.
when I was making my game, it was like a platforming game,
Yeah.
which I got the idea from like I forgot what the name was called, but it was like a platforming game that was kind of similar to
Okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen platforming games like where you have a platform, you got to jump from one platform
Yeah.
to the next, and then to the next, and every time there might be an obstacle or something you have to.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you saw that someplace else and it gave you an idea.
And I actually noticed that with Fortnite, the reason it became so big was that it was actually cross-platform, which means someone that plays on a computer can also play with someone that plays on the PlayStation and can play with someone that plays on the Xbox. So if your friends have, a PlayStation and you have a computer, you can still play with them. You can
Okay.
talk to them. But with other games, you can't really do that.
Yeah, because that's why I thought all of them were that, like, we had Xbox, then you had to play with people who were on Xbox.
Yeah.
Or PlayStation, only PlayStation.
Yeah.
Or computers, only computers.
Yeah.
But you're saying that Fortnite is almost platform independent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's free.
And it's
Yeah.
free.
And it's free. You do not need to pay a single penny to be in
I
it.
mean, you
to
can
be
pay, but like that's like more like less
like
just
vanities and stuff.
just for yeah.
So then you were saying that games are a way to make money. How do you think they're making money in their Fortnite game?
They have they have cosmetic items that you can buy.
Okay.
Basically change the way you look, and people go crazy for them.
Yeah.
So
Just buy a
then
bunch of
within the game, if they come with characters that have a certain dress,
Well-
but if you want to dress your character a different way,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
then you kind of buy,
Yeah.
and they make money off of that.
And the best thing about it is certain games that you play,
Yeah.
you know, versus, let's say there's an adult man who's maybe, I don't know, he has a job.
Yeah.
If he were to put over time, let's say $1,000 into the game
Yes.
in Fortnite,
Yeah.
you know, there'll be a 14-year-old that'll play. They both have the same advantages in being good.
Okay.
You know, the person that spent $1,000 isn't better than the person that, you know, spent $5,
Okay.
you know. So it keeps the player base
Pretty
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 active.
equal.
Yeah,
Okay,
equal.
and active.
Yeah.
All right. Future Kings has a reasonably strong relationship with the computer game design program at George Mason University. And have any of you thought about going to George Mason University in their computer game design department?
Yes, actually, I've been thinking about that a lot.
Okay. How about you, Raphael?
Yeah.
Okay. Emmanuel?
Yeah, a little bit.
Could I say that of the various computer game design universities, colleges, whatever, that George Mason may be number one on your list of schools to go to?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
It's up there.
Definitely.
It's
Okay. And,
local.
Ralph, let's start with you. What have you heard about the Mason computer game? What about Mason's computer game design department is most attractive to you?
I would say like during my second year of Future Kings, we had two guys from George Mason come and teach us game design. And they told us that the game design program over there was really good,
Okay.
and the experience was really nice.
So they kind of recruited you, got you
Yeah.
excited about going there. You guys don't know Lamont Miller.
Yeah.
You know, he's been accepted at George Mason, and he starts this fall in their computer game design. So he's like a little trailblazer for us. How about you, Rami? What about the computer game design program at Mason attracts you?
Oh, that attracts me?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of it. I like creating things on my own. And so, you know, it's like a work of art to me.
Okay.
So when I'm creating something, it gets to go my way.
Mhm.
You know, so someone else, there's not like a strict way of doing something when
Mhm.
it comes to computer game design, because there's all different types of games, you know, this, that. And when I'm working at Future Kings on it, you know, I can do whatever I want on my thing.
Mhm.
There's no, you know, strict thing
Okay.
on what to do.
Good. And Emmanuel, how about you?
So we've been to field trips at George Mason, and we have some game design instructors come and help us,
Mhm.
which is motivating us.
So the fact that you have that personal contact with someone who's been through George Mason,
Yeah.
and now they're teaching you, is kind of drawing you toward going to the same school that they went to.
Yes.
Okay. And to circle back on one of the things that you were saying about art, you know that Mason's game design is in the same general area of their university where the art program is. So not only do you have the computer game design there, but a lot of people who are doing other types of art, whether drawing pictures and all that kind of stuff, are also in that same general area. So it's not just that you're in with a bunch of other people like you. It's across a number of different curricular areas. They're all artistic in that way. That's I think another attractive part of the way George Mason had it set up. Now in computer game, there are different aspects. We've had guys come in and talk about what a game design team might look like. Certainly there's designers, there's artists, there's coders, there's other types of specialties on a team. Any of you guys have an interest in becoming serious coders?
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat, you think
Yeah,
you'd like to?
somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Now I know that your instructors are teaching you something about coding as part of ours. What types of what types of things do you have to really make sure that you code in order to customize your game for what it is you're trying to create?
Oh, so we use Unity,
Okay.
and the first step to starting a program is you have to create the skeleton. So the skeleton is like the initial part where if you don't have a skeleton, the entire code won't work. So the first thing you got to implement is the skeleton. And then inside the skeleton, you start to put, the things that are needed, like, let's say the health of whatever you want to put in the game, basically,
Okay.
goes in the middle of the skeleton.
Okay.
So if you don't have the skeleton or mess the skeleton up, the entire program won't run.
Okay. So Raphael, you were saying a minute ago that you might like to do the coding.
Yeah.
Is that skeleton and stuff that goes in there something that gets coded, or is the skeleton something you just kind of drop in there and then you start adding code to it?
You have to like figure out what you want your program to do
Mhm.
and how you want it to execute it. Because a lot of ways you can just execute it. And yeah,
Yeah, there's different ways of doing the program too. There's
Mhm.
not a specific way.
yeah,
Let's say two games want to complete the same goal, they can do it doing different ways because there's
Okay.
different ways of coding.
Okay. Emmanuel, of the different components of a team, of a game design team, which component do you think you like the best?
Probably like the design part,
The design part.
because you get to pick whatever creations you want and then whatever creation you think other people might like.
Okay. So does design do all the different parts of the game, like who the protagonist is going to be, who the antagonist is going to be, what kind of obstacles you're going to have, what kind of weapons? Is that all part of the design, or is something else? When you say design, what do you really mean?
Like, it's basically like the script. You're like basically writing the script and then you're picking who the good or the bad guys is, what kind of weapons you want. Like, if you want it to be an adventure game, a sports game, an action game, any one of those.
basically like the whole goal of the game.
Okay.
Basically what you want to do.
So if I'm not a game designer, I'm just a language arts guy, would I say that that's like an outline? That thing you're doing is kind of like an outline
Yeah.
that the designer is creating?
Yeah.
Make the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it kind of lays out how the story is going to be and
Yeah.
what the twists and
Rough,
turns in the
yeah.
stories
Yeah.
might be.
Mhm.
Okay. And if you're on a team, that sounds like there's going to be one designer. Am I wrong, or it could be more than one
Could be
designer?
more than
Yeah,
one.
they
It
can
could
be
be more.
more.
You guys could like bounce ideas off each other.
It's
Okay.
good to have
Improve
more
the game.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the collaborative thing that you're talking about, having more than one designer on the team, or could you have everyone on the team have design responsibility?
Yeah.
I think everyone
Pitch
should.
in, give their ideas.
Because, for example, if I have an idea and I think it's good, I can share it with someone else. Even though, let's say we both, come up with ideas, maybe my idea is overall better, but he can say something, add something to my idea. That'll
Okay.
make it sound really good.
Okay. And when you are doing it as a team, one of the statistics I read is that on a professional team, that you have more artists on the team than any other specialty, because there's so much artwork that has to go into it. Is that
Yeah. that
are
sounds right.
you experiencing that a little bit on your?
Somewhat, yeah.
Because the game has to be appealing.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the game doesn't look like,
It's
what
gotta
the-
look good.
if it's 2019 and the game looks like it was made 2010, I don't think the player
Yeah,
base is
people
going
won't
to
want
be.
to play it.
Okay. So even when you're designing your games now, you have to be aware of what's happening in other areas.
Yeah.
So that even though it might be a new game and never played before, if it looks like something that is from back in the 60s,
Yeah.
no one's going to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There may
Okay.
be that small group, but if you want the majority
A
of
broader
people,
audience,
yeah,
yeah.
broader audience,
You
then
want
you
to
want to make it
good
look a lot better.
game.
Okay. And when you are, and I've heard you say a couple times that you like the teamwork, the collaboration.
Yeah.
Is that something that appeals to you too, Raphael?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just bouncing ideas off each other and being able to improve the game and make it better.
Yeah.
Emmanuel?
Same thing. Brainstorming and stuff.
Brainstorming. So working by yourself as a computer game designer would not be nearly as attractive as being with a couple of the guys that you could really work with and really bounce ideas off of, share things with and all that.
Yeah. It wouldn't be good if if it was by himself, because he'd be
Okay.
closed-minded.
So when you are working as part of a team, how do you decide who's in charge? Or is nobody in charge?
Everybody has like certain roles that they have to
Yeah.
play.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are those defined in advance, or do you guess if you just kind of work it out as you go
I
along?
believe it
Yeah, I
goes on
think
your
that-
skill.
Yeah, they're based on what you're mainly good
Yeah.
at.
Okay. So you,
Like
when
someone
you're on a team,
Like
Good.
someone that's good at drawing or like animation, they're probably gonna be like the animation director.
okay,
Mhm.
Yeah.
okay,
But I think everyone should have a say, because if, let's say a majority of the team doesn't like something,
hmm
then I think that, they should be their opinion should be taken into account because you can't have everyone, a majority of the team dislike something. So
Okay.
I think you should collaborate on a lot of things.
So consensus building
Yeah.
is part of what you have to have on that team.
Yes.
That you can't just have one guy who dominates everything. If you have someone on a team who is dominating everybody and always wants his ideas, then that gets in the way of the total teamwork.
Because if you think about it, they also play video games. So
Yeah.
if they're not liking the way the game looks, how are you going to sell it to someone else?
Right. Okay. So the ability to be candid, to tell what you really think in a way that is not offensive, is a good part of being a teammate.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
And it keeps the team together too.
And it keeps the team together.
Yeah.
Okay. And not taking criticism personally is something else that's good.
Yeah.
And these are good workplace skills.
Mhm.
Because if you're working in a work environment where one guy is always in charge and wants to do everything and boss everybody else around, that gets in the way of really getting the best ideas.
Yeah.
Is that kind
Yeah.
of what you guys
That's
are feeling?
true.
Yeah.
So it feels from what you're telling me that being part of a team here has even broader workplace impacts. Because being part of a team, a design team, means that you're learning how to work in other team environments as well.
Yeah.
That is not the things you're learning are not just limited to computer game design. They can be applied in school. It can be applied someplace else. Is that
Working on
am
a
I
school
understanding this
project,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Learn to collaborate with people.
Okay.
You're going to use it either way. You're going to use it, within your entire life. So
Yeah.
teamwork doesn't only go for just
One certain.
Yeah, it doesn't go for one thing. You can use teamwork, throughout many things in your life.
Okay. Now, do you guys find yourself applying these collaborative skills in school?
Yeah. It's when
Yeah.
we're doing projects.
Yeah, projects.
We mostly get other people involved, so you're not the only
Yeah.
one doing it.
Yeah.
You split the work, and at the end, you all make sure that everyone's, done
Everyone's
their part,
done their part.
Okay.
to the fullest that it can go.
Okay. Well, that sounds very, very interesting. Until tonight, I hadn't really thought about the collaborative part of what you're learning in computer game design. I certainly understood a lot of the technical stuff that you're being exposed to, but the dependence on collaboration and the role that collaboration plays as part of your team.
It's kind of like checks and balances.
Yeah.
How, everyone has to do their part. Like the legislative branch has to do theirs, judicial and
Yeah.
executive. And, if there's an issue, then one branch would check the other.
Okay.
So that's the way I see it.
And you guys all feel that same way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you collaborating on the games that you're creating now in Future Kings, or?
I mean, not really, because we're just making our own games. But
Okay.
Yeah.
if we were making all one whole game all together, then yeah, we would all collaborate.
You know that Future Kings is starting to work on a VR game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're going to bring all you guys in there as part of the team to be part of that. I'm looking forward to watch you work together as part of our VR game.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends tonight's program. It's been a very stimulating conversation with Rami and Raphael and Emmanuel. I thank you guys for coming on and talking to us today. I've certainly been enlightened by some of the things you've told me, and I wish you great success. We're going to do everything we can to get you into George Mason University next year. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for you at home, thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.